After listening to Rickey Smiley and his feminine rant about black Americans not supporting Kamala Harris, I think the hypocrisy of group racial identity should be talked about more. And I mean in the sense that mainstream media denigrated black Americans such as Nick Cannon, Whoopi Goldberg, and Kyrie Irving for even thinking that they might be the true Jews. And Jews were allowed to rebuke those claims unchallenged. Now we have the same mainstream media telling black Americans that we have to accept Kamala Harris as black, and we're not allowed to push back against it. The rant Rickey Smiley went on was both disgusting and weak, because he was so enamored with symbolism, he didn't realize he went full Bernice Jenkins on us with the shaming language. Telling us if we don't vote for Kamala, we're automatically voting for Trump. Completely ignoring that Kamala and Trump aren't the only candidates running. There's also Jill Stein. There's Cornel West. There's even Robert F. Kennedy. We even have the option to not vote at all. Talk about not doing research. Because I always thought voting for your best interests boils down to choosing your own goals as an individual. I didn't know it was comparable to being in a gang, because it was all emotionalism on his behalf. He didn't even give a valid reason to vote for her. No one cares she went to an HBCU and she's a part of a black sorority. Those aren't valid credentials to be considered black. Nor is bringing up our mothers and female family members, because I can't speak for anyone else's upbringing, but my mother didn't teach me and my siblings to look at all black women in the same light as her. Like, not once did she ever mention that. And to be honest with you, I don't know any black woman that teaches her kids that foolishness. Because what does my mom being black have to do with me not voting for her? Proving the point that Democrats love talking to black people like we're stupid. And Rickey Smiley showed us he's a part of the go along to get along gang. And I'm glad people are starting to see how comedians who aren't funny, like D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey, and Rickey Smiley, really make their money by being paid gatekeepers of the boule. So Cat Williams was right about everything he said about him. Plus, Rickey Smiley isn't that famous to try to gaslight us into voting Democrat. I'm comfortable right here being independent, because it's starting to get annoying when people like him and other boule members keep making assumptions about black Americans that aren't even true. And this is coming from a man who isn't good at anything besides wearing a dress and acting like an old church lady. Something him and Kamala have in common by cosplaying as black women. And somebody like that can never shame me into voting based on identity politics. Never. You will never be able to do that. Especially from someone who got the chills from the token symbolism of black faces in high places, while no other group is pressured into doing that. So we all can see at this point all the Democrats do is lie to our face and tell us it's okay, when it isn't. We can vote for whoever we want. What isn't cool is trying to convince the rest of us to vote for this woman, and the only justification you have is shame, fear, and symbolism. And think we should be grateful for that. No intelligent man or woman is going for that. How the fuck is that a blessing to us exactly, when black people didn't gain anything from her being in office for the past 3.5 years? Where's the blessing? Outside of blocking people on social media and throwing temper tantrums online, what can they really do about it? Take their belt off and whoop us and make us do it? I would love to see them try. But yeah, that whole interview with Rickey Smiley, yeah, that was an embarrassment. Garbage truck juice. Nobody's listening to you, Rickey Smiley. Give it up, dog. Give it up.